Let's do some mobilization, a little bit of strength work, get ourselves set for the day ahead. We'll start off with rotation of the spine. So really working on particularly relaxing the shoulders and the upper back. Start with your palms facing up. So you're in like this I surrender position. And we're going to rotate. I'm mirroring you, so you're rotating to the right. You peel that opposite heel off the floor. So you got a little bit more weight shift through that left leg, so through the right leg there. A little bit of bend in the knee. Keep the knees bent so that we're not twisting the knees. And then you rotate to the opposite direction. Just looking in the direction that you're rotating. Shoulders stay nice and strong and down. And it's almost like you're being dangled by a string from the crown of your head. So tall through the spine. Our breath is just natural. Our lips are lightly together. Lengthening up the spine, visualizing each vertebra rotating on top of the other. Bringing now the arms a little bit lower, so come more shoulder height, a little bit wider apart. So you might feel more mid-back rotation. Still lifting the opposite heel. Easy breathing. Lower down still. So let's go to the hips. And you can just bend the knees a little bit more, still peeling that opposite heel off. With that little bit more of attention to your lower back area now. As always, if you feel any pain, then you stop. It's not about forcing any movement. And you'll notice if you're forcing or in pain because your breath will change. So be guided by the breath. Easy, smooth, effortless breathing. And then just go into knocking. So just let the arms go. Keep tall through the spine. Tapping. Back of the body, front of the body. Feet connected to the ground now. So both feet connected to the ground. Breath easy in and out through the nose. Strong lower body connected to the ground, light, lifted upper body. So this morning practice is great for a warm-up or a general mobility exercise, some stretching, just a general prep, either for exercise or just in general for getting you prepared for the day ahead. Getting the blood flowing, getting the energy flowing through the body, draining the toxins, lymphatic drainage. Let's now make a light fist with the front arm and it just taps just underneath the collarbone. So you're just tapping here really gently on the collarbone, just below the collarbone, top of the chest. Creating vibration. The back hand still just taps onto the back of the body. Now cupping the front arm as it swings across and just tapping on the shoulder. So there, really nice, just to get rid of any tightness and tension and blockage in the shoulder. This feels really good if you've been sitting at a desk a lot or a little bit tight or tense in the upper back and the shoulders. Back down to chest. You might feel you want to take a fuller breath through the nose. And just let that breath out. Long sigh out, relaxing sigh out. Do that if it feels good. Back across the belly. Slowing it down into water waves. Really slow the movement. So slow that you can feel the air running through the fingers, on the skin. And come to standing. Take a moment, hip width apart, balancing. That should feel really nice and light now in the upper body because we've got that spine mobilized and rotated a little bit. And then step back out. Connecting the fingers, so just lightly connecting the fingers. A little bit of bend in the knees again, come up the body, chest, lift up and then out to the side. So lengthening out the spine, extending the spine. Lift up, out to the side. Breathing in, breathing out, if that is comfortable for you. Or just breathe easy in and out through the nose, whatever works best. Next one at the top, just hold the position, just keep breathing but hold the position. And then lean over. So if you imagine you had like a lemon and you're just squeezing a lemon in the opposite hip there, and you can extend, push up a little bit with the fingers there, so you can stretch the fingers and the arms and this rib at the side here. And just take a few breaths, easy breaths, light breaths into that side of the body. And then come back to the top. Opposite side, so squeeze the lemon. Push through the hands a little bit more. And then come back to center. Do a couple more each side. So squeeze and push. No force, no strain, breathing easy. Come back to center. Squeeze. Push. Come back to center. So you can bend the elbows a little bit. You can almost soften down and then extend up, soften down and extend, and then back to center, arms out to the side. Just a couple of points to watch on that one, and all of the ones where we do like the arm raises above the head, just watch that you're not using the shoulders to lift. It's very easy for the shoulders to lead and the shoulders to come up. But really, if you keep the shoulders down, you'll feel that nice length and that stretch through the back and through the ribs here. So shoulders stay down, but you use this bit to extend and lengthen and stretch. The other point, when you squeeze the lemon, just watch that you're not dropping the hips out, so that the lower body stays stable, and you just tilt that upper body so you really get that nice stretch through there. Good. Shake out, tap the heels into the floor, let the shoulders go, feel that vibration through the body. You can use the arms a little bit more. When you're doing this shaking, you can imagine that you've got like 5 pumps. You've got your legs, you've got the 2 legs, you've got your spine, and you've also can then bring the arms into it. So you're just pumping and shaking through the body, creating vibration. If you're tight in the shoulders, this is a really nice time just to feel those shoulders completely let go. And slow it down. I always like to stand for a few moments just after the shaking so you can feel the energy flowing around the body. Good. Step back out. Let's do big hip circles. So we're keeping our legs straight. And we circle into the side, to the back, to the other side. Just a very slight forward bend there, lifting the sternum a little bit. Not too much. Or back bend really, isn't it? Yeah, back bend. So you're bringing the hips forwards and just a very, very slight back bend. And when we think of back bend, don't just think of lower back bend. Lift that sternum up. Good, nice big circles. Sternum lifts, hips forwards a little bit, not too much. I got a nice clunk in my lower back then. Couple more in this direction. If it helps, you can put your hands in the hip creases there. Gives you a little bit more focus. And then opposite direction. Slow movements, nothing forced. You should feel a stretch maybe through the hamstrings as you go back, as the hips glide back. One more in this direction. And then come up to standing. Let's go wide now. So Keith had a question in our Zoom session before this for the Zoom members about, this is a really difficult one because you can't really see what I'm doing, and it's about a very small movement in this area, in the groin area. If you get your feet turned out and your knees over the toes. So watch that the knees aren't coming in. We really want to feel that stretch through the adductor muscles here. And you're sitting, it's like you're sitting on a horse. So I'm not in the squat position here, because if you're in this squat position, you can't really get much movement there. So you're sitting on a horse in this position here. And then you're doing exactly the same, but in a much smaller movement. So I'm tucking my tailbone under, and I'm circling now towards the wall there to the left, and then I'm tilting my pelvis, tilting my pubic bone down, and then I'm circling towards the right. And Julie made a really good point. It's like, imagine that you've got a plumb line dangling from your tailbone, and you're just creating that little circle on the floor with that plumb line. So you're really working inside the hips and the pelvic floor. So think how the pelvic floor is involved in this whole movement. But by saying pelvic floor, what I don't want you to do is really tighten or contract the pelvic floor. Just let it be natural in that position. So you don't want to over tighten anything. You'll feel it really working the legs. And then go in the other direction. Keeping those knees over the toes. Might just help if you want to, just to put a little bit of pressure there, just to keep the knees from dropping in, and then you'll really feel it working. Again, do not strain anything. Do not overdo this. It's just easy movement just to get that movement going. And then when you're coming out of this, straighten the knees. Put the weight on the heels, rotate the toes in. So we're getting some nice rotation here, internal rotation through the hips. And then weight on the toes, bring the heels in, come back up to standing, and then shake the leg out. And just have a little walk around, because by doing those two hip movements, the large hip circle and that small sacrum circle, suddenly there's a lot more freedom in the hips, or hopefully there's a lot more freedom in the hips. And then come back to standing. Let's just do our leg swing to see how free those hips are. So you balance, swing across, balance, swing. What is great about this one is stabilize, mobilize, free up that hip. It's exactly what we're doing when we're walking, when we're running, is we stabilize on one side of the body before we free and let the other leg swing through. Obviously, when we're walking and running, we're not thinking that every time we take a step, but that's what we want to be doing. We want to be stable when we land, and then we want the opposite leg to be as free as possible to swing through, so we don't have to do any work to bring that swing leg through to take the next step. Couple more each side. And shake out. So now we've got our hips working, nice and warmed up. Let's do some tigers. So get your feet to a comfortable distance, most probably just a little bit more than shoulder width apart. Let's really break this down now. Arms, really clasp the fingers. Now the reason why we're doing this is because we're creating tension down the arm into the back. So we create a really nice strong back, and that helps us drop down, keeping tall as we drop down, rather than tilting forwards as we drop down. So it's almost like you are doing a bit of a spine wave coming down. Just go as comfortably deep as you can. And then here you're relaxing the arms a little bit, we're rounding the arms a little bit, pushing through the heels. So push through the heels, standing up tall. And again, if you bring the arms into it, we get in that little bit of a Spine wave, so I'm lifting my sternum a little bit. So we're getting that little wave going on. And then strong, arms clawed or hands clawed, tiger claws, come down. Notice if I'm coming down, I'm not tilting forwards. Come down, strong through the arms, strong, just as far as you can. Push through the heels and come back. A little bit of spine wave coming up. Keep that movement going. So if you're getting to here, that's perfect. It's not about how deep can I go, it's about how well can I do the movement. What am I noticing in my body? Tall, pushing through the heels. Breathing is light, soft, easy, in and out through the nose, just naturally. So just breathe. You don't necessarily have to breathe with the movement. Hips glide back. This next one, we're going to go down, and then just where you get to a comfortable position, just hold the position, but not the breath. So hold your position and just breathe easy. You can just let your arms relax. Just breathing easy in and out through the nose. And then slowly come up to standing. Let's do one more of those. Have your feet in a comfortable place. If that felt a little bit odd in terms of your position that you were holding, just get yourself set, lower body, come down. Hold the position. Relax your arms however you feel comfortable, but breathe easy. Then push through the heels safely back up. Let's do one more like that. So again, just adjust your position if you feel you need to. See if we can go a little bit lower. But again, no forcing. Down, strong arms, strong fingers. If you can go a little bit lower, just rest the elbows now if you can, just inside the knees. Keeping tall through the spine. Breathing easy. If your breathing changes, if you start to hold a breath, if it's painful, just come out of it. It's not about how long can I hold this position with strain. It's how long can I hold this position comfortably. And then when you're ready, push through the heels. Come up to standing and shake out the legs. Nice. That's a really good one to practice and change sort of like that mindset of exercise, because we're always thinking, oh, I need to, can I hold this for 30 seconds? Can I hold this for a minute? Can I hold this plank? Can I hold this posture? And the idea is you can most probably hold that a lot longer by holding the breath, by pushing yourself, by straining a little bit more. But if you go with the breath, and as soon as you feel the breath change, bring yourself back out of that position. And you want to be able to comfortably bring yourself back out of that position. You don't want to go to the point where you literally have to force yourself back out of that position. It's a bit like doing an interval session and getting to the point where you really gas out and you're really struggling at the end of that session, as opposed to running but still being in control of the breath. You recover quicker, you recover better from that. Good, let's shake out the legs. And we'll finish off with a couple of nice flow movements, just to bring everything back down and get you all set for the rest of the day. So first one, we did this in our breathing workshop on Tuesday, really nice one. Palms flow up, Hands flow out to the side. Palms are facing down. We rotate our palms to face up. Nice little spiral through the arms. We then connect thumb and first finger on both hands and bring palms back in front of us. Palms rotate down to the ground. Come up. Feel that little bit of spine wave, that spine extension as the arms flow out. Circle. Feel that little bit of softening. It's almost like a little bit of a give as you bring the palms back, their hands back. Open up. It's coordinating the breath if that feels comfortable. Breathing in. Silent breath, quiet breath. We're not pulling air in, it's just letting the breath go into the body, breathing out. Extending and lifting. Softening, breathing out, letting go. Bringing energy into the body as you breathe in. And then letting go. As you breathe out. Arms down by the side. Pulling down the heavens. So elbows bend as you get to about shoulder height. Pull down. Coming down that center line. Through the mind, heart, center, body. Bringing the hands together, resting just below the belly button on your lower abdomen, bringing your feet together, and just taking a moment, either with your eyes closed or eyes open, whatever feels right for you this moment, just to bring yourself back to balance, giving yourself that little bit of space. Allowing the body to rock and sway without effort. Taking now a full breath in through the nose, opening your eyes at the top of the breath, stepping out, stretching or doing whatever you feel you need after that little movement session. And we will finish there. So great, thank you. Quite a lot going on there. Some of the squats were looking good from what I could see on the Zoom class there. So really well done, everybody. Hope that set you up for the weekend. And just a reminder that on Saturday, I have a couple of things going on. So we have an Unlock the Power of Breath workshop, which is an hour long at 12 o'clock, starting at 12 o'clock on Saturday. That's free if you are Breathe, Balance, Move premium members, or it's £29 if you just want to join that session for the one-off. We're focusing on breath work. I'm going to be showing you a few diagrams because someone was mentioning in the Zoom class, Yvonne was mentioning it'd be good if we could actually see what's going on within the body. So just to give you some ideas, so it helps with the visualization when we're focusing on diaphragm and pelvic floor and things. And also this Saturday, the Run with Ease program is starting. So that's at 10 o'clock. It's 3 1.5 hour sessions this Saturday, next Saturday, the following Saturday. Plus, you also get a one-day experience or workshop in London on the 15th of January is going to be that one-day workshop in London. If you sign up for the Run with Ease program, it works out a lot more cost effective than if you just book the workshop. So I would suggest that you sign up for that program if you want to do that, because it's 3 weeks plus a one-day workshop. So hopefully I'll see some of you on Saturday. If not, I will see you all next Tuesday for the breathwork. Have a great weekend and thanks for joining. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.